Maasai culture is not created to be displayed. Colors, jewelry, and forms in their daily lives are not meant to stand out, but to help each person understand where they belong within the community. When you look closely enough, Maasai beauty is not about the individual, it is about how a society maintains order and connection among its people, the Maasai people. In the lives of the Maasai people, not everything that happens is seen as a special event. Some things come and go, like the weather or the movement of livestock. Wild boar hunting is usually understood in this way.
आजा इधर यहाँ पे है इधर इधर हाँ फ्रेंड्स ये देखिए जंगली सुअर का एक झुंड है और मकई को खान
Wild boars draw attention only when they begin to affect crops or disrupt everyday life. They carry no symbolic meaning, nor are they tied to stories passed down through generations. Simply put, when their presence becomes inconvenient or damaging, the Maasai take notice. Their response is usually measured. First comes observation, how serious the damage is, whether it has a direct impact, and whether the situation is likely to last or pass quickly. Action is not always necessary. Often, adjusting guarding methods or daily routines is enough.
Balo narolugunya yeso ene mbalo na bane ay so fired up.
When hunting does take place, it does not resemble a hunt meant to be remembered or retold. There is no elaborate preparation, no sense that this is something to mark or celebrate.
주변 부족들에게 악명이 높았죠.
People do what needs to be done with a clear purpose, to resolve the issue so life can return to stability. When it ends, it does so quietly, leaving little trace.
Got that one.
After the wild boar hunt is over, people return to unfinished tasks. Livestock are taken out, crops are checked, and village life continues as usual. No one spends time recounting or dwelling on what just happened. The hunt matters because it protects crops and prevents disruption to daily life. Once that purpose is fulfilled, the matter is considered closed. The Maasai do not turn it into a story, nor keep it as a milestone to remember. Attention quickly shifts back to what is repeated every day. It is these familiar routines that endure and shape the rhythm of the community. Hit like if this hunt caught your interest. When life returns to its normal rhythm, what stands out in Maasai life is not the events that just happened, but what is present every single day. Clothing, colors, and jewelry do not appear to mark an occasion, but to help people recognize one another in everyday life. Within Maasai communities, beauty is not used to express individual personality. It is not meant to impress or draw attention. Instead, aesthetics function as a clear system of identification. Simply by looking at how someone dresses, wears jewelry, or uses color, others can understand which stage of life that person is in. Maasai jewelry is not worn to match or decorate. Each bead style, each necklace, each way of wearing carries specific information. Young people, adults, and those holding particular roles in the community all have their own distinct markers. These signs need no verbal explanation because everyone in the community understands them. Colors work in the same way. They are not chosen at random or based on personal preference. Color helps distinguish roles, states, and social positions. Thanks to this, in daily life, people can quickly recognize one another and interact appropriately, without the need for constant reminders. What matters most is that this sense of beauty is not separated from daily activity. It does not exist only in festivals or rituals. Maasai people carry their aesthetics with them while herding livestock, moving through the village, and doing very ordinary work. Beauty does not interrupt life, it blends into it. For this reason, Maasai aesthetics are not meant to create differences between individuals. They help maintain the stability of the community. When everyone is recognized in their proper role and place, shared life becomes more orderly. There is little need for written rules, because aesthetics already perform that function. Seen this way, beauty in Maasai life is not something to be judged or compared. It is a social tool, used every day to keep the community running smoothly. And it is precisely this practical use of beauty that allows Maasai aesthetics to endure over time, even as the surrounding world continues to change. From here, it becomes clearer why some things in Maasai life pass quickly, while aesthetic forms remain for so long. Not because they are more beautiful, but because they make living together easier. If the way the Maasai people understand beauty gives you something to think about, leave a comment below. In Maasai life, not every action is considered part of culture. Some things happen out of necessity, are handled efficiently, and then come to an end. But there are other things that are repeated every day, accompanying people from childhood into old age. Aesthetics belong to this second group. Beauty in Maasai life is not created to impress. It is not meant to make one individual stand out from the crowd, nor to express personal uniqueness. Instead, aesthetics help each person place themselves correctly within the community. By simply looking at clothing, jewelry, or the colors being used, others can understand which stage of life a person is in, and how they should be recognized.
Enables the blood not to clot.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this is my first time.
This makes Maasai aesthetics function as a very practical system. It requires no explanation and no instructions. People are accustomed to reading these signs in everyday life. As a result, social relationships flow more smoothly, with fewer questions and less need to constantly reaffirm one's role.
That's beautiful.
Another important point is that Maasai aesthetics are not limited to special occasions. People do not wait for festivals or ceremonies to express beauty. Beauty accompanies them in daily life, while working, while meeting others, while sharing communal spaces. It is not separate from life, but part of life itself. Because it is so closely woven into daily rhythms, Maasai aesthetics do not create a sense of performance. They do not interrupt work, nor demand special attention. Beauty exists alongside ordinary activities, and for that reason, it is far more enduring than forms of aesthetics that appear only in rare moments. When placed next to activities like wild boar hunting, things that are done when needed and then set aside, the difference becomes clearer. Hunting addresses a specific situation, and once that situation passes, it is left behind. Aesthetics are different. They do not solve a temporary problem, but help the community maintain long-term order. Seen this way, Maasai culture is not a collection of everything people do. It is the result of selection. What serves only the moment is allowed to pass. What helps people understand one another, recognize one another, and live together over time is what remains. It is this process of selection that allows Maasai cultural life to exist without the need for display. It does not require constant explanation, nor grand declarations for protection. Beauty remains, repeated every day, quietly holding the community together and keeping it stable, even as other parts of life continue to change. And perhaps it is here that we can understand why aesthetics play such an important role in the lives of the Maasai people. Not because they are more beautiful than anything else, but because they help people remain together, over time, and with resilience. For the Maasai people, beauty does not exist to be admired or compared. It exists so that each person knows who they are, where they stand, and which community they belong to. In a life shaped by constant change, aesthetics are not meant for display, but for keeping order and connection alive. If the Maasai way of seeing beauty makes you rethink aesthetics in your own life, leave a comment and follow the channel to explore more cultural stories like this.